Hey, what's up? This video is going to be covering our predictions and analysis for week 2 of the AAF League. And we're going to be going over Salt Lake Stallions at Birmingham Iron and Arizona Hotshots at Memphis Express. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so diving into it, Jed, what do you kind of think for this first game here of Salt Lake Stallions at Birmingham Iron?
All right, when I first went over the numbers and everything, I came up with the spread at -7 Birmingham. And then I kind of thought more about things, and I was like, okay, what would it take for me to want to bet Salt Lake Stallions? I think that they are kind of the undervalued team, but they have pretty good potential. The only thing that worries me is the turnover rate with how things were going with the game. But the Iron also run with Trent Richardson as their main player, and that he's their face of their program, and that's not a lot of confidence for me.
Yeah.
I think they're a tough team, and they have good defense, and they have an all right offense, so they're probably one of the more well-rounded teams in the whole league. But I think the Stallions might be able to put a little dagger in their back. I'm not going to say they're going to win, but I think they can cover the 7 points. In my head playing out the game, I saw it being kind of a close, more low-scoring game. So I'm going to take the points. It was at -7, and it went to 7.5. So I kind of will take, as my pick, the Stallions in a close game.
Okay. Yeah, so when I look at this game, the only thing that was consistent for either team was Birmingham's defense. If we look at their previous game, they shut out the Memphis Express, and their offense kind of sputtered. Birmingham scored 3, then 6, then 0. Then, we can kind of attribute the fourth quarter to Memphis either giving up or being bad. They scored 17 in the fourth quarter, but offense was not consistent throughout the entire game. So really the only thing, and then the Stallions, they didn't have consistent offense or consistent defense. They lost 38-22. So the only consistent thing in this game is Birmingham's good defense. So I'm going to say Birmingham wins this game 31-17 and holds them to 17, scores 31 because the Stallions gave up 38 the last game, and I think Birmingham's offense might not be quite to that level, so I'm going to give them 31. So yeah, I think actually as far in terms of covering, I would take Birmingham to cover the 7.5. I would swallow it and predict them to win by like 10-17 in that range, kind of. So yeah, so we kind of actually disagree on the who to pick against the spread.
I have 22-19. I think Birmingham's going to win the game. They are the better team, but I think you're getting a little value in the Stallions for some reason.
And we've been sports bettors for a long time, but just like everybody else, we're kind of learning how this league kind of operates and how it's going to go. It seems like so far that defense is pretty strong in this league. Just kind of looking at like different stats and yards per play and stuff, and yards per rush is really low for most teams. So it's hard to run the ball in this league. They allow for more hard hits. There's not as many flags. It's kind of a faster game. So I do kind of have to learn all the intricacies of how everything works, but
it's super fun. And I do like how the offense is set for the Stallions, and I feel like they just have too many hiccups, and I doubt they're going to be able to work them all out just in week 2. But their coach did say that they had their best practice yet going into this game. And I know it's too hard to fix special teams. They may not win you the game, but if they mess up, they'll lose you the game real easily. So I don't know. I just think you're better value just by a slight margin. I'm talking very slight margin. That's actually why I kind of like the under more at, 44 now? Mm-hmm. And it might be even 44.5 on some other sites. I like it. I think that's probably the better value is actually the under in that game. But if I'm going to the points with the spread, I'll take the spread in this game.
Yeah, your score has the under hitting and my score has the over hitting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good that we kind of got a couple different viewpoints. So, yeah, for this first game, we both agree Birmingham's going to win. I think Birmingham's going to cover. Jed thinks Salt Lake is going to cover. So let's get into the next game, which is going to be the Arizona Hotshots at Memphis Express. Alrighty, so now as we jump into the second game, what are you kind of thinking on this one, Jed?
Well, Memphis Express, I like their defense, and we can't even really talk about offense because they didn't have any. No, it's kind of horrendous, but they did get to the goal line, and then they ended up trying to go for points because I respect that. They could take the field goal and make it, okay, so we didn't get shut out. But you know what? They went for actual points and to stay in the game and make it relevant. So I actually really respect that play call, even though a person's like, just take the points. I mean, you're Memphis fan, you know, just because the 0 is the most humiliating thing you could see.
Yeah, getting shut out is awful. And yeah, I think we both kind of agree on this one. I've got my score at 37-13, Arizona winning. I don't really see Memphis being super competitive in this game. They looked awful week 1. They lost 0-26, whereas Arizona was basically the exact opposite. They looked amazing in week 1. They won 38-22. So, yeah, I mean, 6 yards of play. Their quarterback was phenomenal, 275 yards passing, 62% completion rate, I believe, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, very tough to pick Memphis in this game. And, you know, if I had to pick a team to cover a spread, that 16, I would swallow the 16 and still pick Arizona.
Yeah, the spread opened up at -14 Memphis, and I was doing my calculations before the game and before I looked at the spread to kind of determine which one I was going to do. I did a little Warren Buffett on stock theory. You know, I come up with the value first, then look at the line and see what's going on. But the thing with Memphis is their defense is better than Salt Lake Stallions, and I probably even put theirs over the Iron. The only thing is, it's so hard to watch them on offense. You're just like waiting for something to happen. The pocket control for Arizona Hotshots is pretty good on some of the formations in the gameplay. It just looked like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers there for a second.
Wow.
That's a complete joke, by the way. But no, Memphis can get to the quarterback, and I do expect them to get a couple more shots in there. But in doing so, it's also going to open up a bigger play for Arizona. So I think it affects Arizona, but it also will give Arizona a couple free points a few times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't expect Memphis to get shut out again.
No.
You know, so.
Which I thought was really cool that you actually had them having points.
Yeah, I have them scoring 13.
I was going back and forth between, okay, are they going to get 2 field goals, or are they going to actually get a touchdown? I think they get a touchdown, film the 2-point conversion, and then they get a field goal.
Yeah, so I think we both kind of agree. We both have Arizona covering, but you actually have the under hitting, and I have the over hitting. And I think that's true with both games. I have the over hitting on both games. You have the under hitting on both games.
Well, yeah, because this is kind of a theory on it. This is literally week 2 of teams we don't know. I mean, you and I do recognize some of these players. We're diehard college fans, and we watch the NFL. The only thing about that, though, is we don't have all this data to go with, and players are coming in and out. Like, they still have to meet roster regiments and stuff, and players are getting kind of shuffled out a little bit here and there, and they're picking up new ones. So, literally, each week to week, a team could change pretty drastic with, like, a defensive tackle. So, I mean, who knows? And
we haven't seen any ebbs and flows yet. We haven't seen a team plays good in this matchup, plays bad in this matchup. Mm-hmm. We haven't seen any, you know, so it's very tough to make these predictions, you know, but we've studied as best we can and gone with the data that we have to make these predictions. But yeah, so we both have Arizona covering the spread of 16, and we're split on the under and the over.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this video. And as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Enjoy week 2. Peace.